Kindly confirm that you can hear me. Is it better now? Can you hear me now? Okay. I would need to check my sounds and then I may need to disconnect this video and send you another link, please. Just give me a few minutes while I do that. Thank you. Okay. Is it better now? I can see from the comments that somebody can hear me now. Thank you, Layo. Can you all hear me now? Okay, okay. Thank you so much, Layo. Thank you, Oka. Welcome to this live stream. It's the beginning of a brand new year, right? Everybody has. Okay, a lot of us have written our. Thank you, Layo. Thank you, Binna. Thank you so much. Okay, so everybody has written their goals. A lot of people are still thinking, is Nigeria the place for me? Should I japa or not? What will the elections hold, really? And then for us parents, it's really more confusing because you're not just making these decisions for you. You're making it for the little ones who you are in charge of, who you are taking care of, right? So why is this topic important? Why is it coming up at this time of the year where everybody is thinking of what to do? It's important and imperative because it will help you fine tune those decisions. It will help you really sit down and reconsider because there are some things you may not even be doing right. As little as routines sound, like the word routine, right? As little as it is, it may just be that you need to tweak to get things better in whatever you're doing, especially on your parenting journey. The non-parents that are streaming on this live session right now can learn a thing on two too. So everyone is welcome. You can share with your friends. You can share the link with your loved ones. Come and learn. Bring your pen and paper because it promises to be insightful. What are routines? Routines are things that you do on a daily basis, things that you do okay regularly. Let's not say daily. What do you do every week? What goal have you set? Let's start from there. Okay, what have you decided to do every week? Or let's start from daily. What have you decided to do every day to meet your goal for the year? The year is very, very big, right? Let's see it as a very big thing. 365 days is a lot of time, is a lot of minutes, a lot of seconds, right? Let's now break it down to 24 hours, like every day, one day at a time. What plans have you put in place? What have you decided to do every day from where you are right now that will take you from here to where you want to be in the next 365 days or minus 12 now because we're already on day 12, right? Now, that is your routine. Have you decided to lose weight? By the end of the year, I want to be 10 kg less, 200 kg less. What are you doing today that will contribute to that goal at the end of the year? By the end of the year, I want to be the president of the United States. What are you doing today that will contribute to that goal at the end of the year? Don't just see one year as one big miracle that's happened to you, that you have all the time in the world because it's a year and there are 365 days in it. If you fail to put in work today towards your goals, you find out that you have missed a day. And for every day you miss a day, you see that you're now constrained. You'll be boxed in with regards to time to execute whatever goals you have. Goals are beautiful, but they won't execute themselves, and they would definitely not do so if your routine is not in order. Now that I've talked about routines, let us even go down to why we are really, really, really here. Because a lot of us mistake the concepts routine and schedule as the same thing. While they are very related, while they depend on each other for sustainability, they are very, very different concepts. A schedule is more analytical, more precise. I have decided that every week, for instance, I would read maybe 200 pages. And then my schedule will now be to read 30 pages between the hour of 10 and 2 p.m. every single day. Now, I have a routine, right? To read 200 books, 200 pages every week for the rest of the year. My schedule will now be how I break that routine into bite sizes that I can really measure and track. Do you understand? If you're following, let me see your comments, please, 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 please. Let me know that you're getting it. I don't want to lose anyone. I believe as a teacher that it's a process, the teaching and the learning process. If you're not following whatever I'm teaching is not getting learned, and then learning is not taking place, the process is incomplete. So if you're following, please let me see your comments in the comment section. I want this to be as interactive as it can get. Okay, so now if you do not set the right, come up with the right schedule to follow through with your routine, you see that you have problems. And it is very, very important for parents to have a functioning, active schedule because it helps the children to even know what to wake up to look up to when they wake up. They know what is going to happen at each given hour. They know that when they wake up in the morning, according to their schedule, they are meant to brush their teeth, for instance. They're meant to say a prayer. They're meant to maybe lay their bed, then go and shower. But then, if you have a routine that is not broken down into schedules, you find out that the children will struggle. They won't know what to do at every given time. You find out that you now have to be thinking for them, which is going to be a problem in itself. You'll be raising children who need you to think for them. The goal at the end of the day, when you're launching your children by the time they turn 18 or by the time they turn adults or whenever you want them to leave you and become independent and by themselves, is for them to be able to make decisions by themselves, for them to be able to think and act for themselves. Now, a lot of us parents make the mistake of believing that the best legacy to leave to your children is money, generational wealth, and maybe companies. But I beg to differ. Organizational skills may be the legacy you're giving to them. It's very possible. It's not out of place, right? You may be that parent that taught your generation how to be very, very organized. And it may be the gifts that will open doors for them that will amass them the fortune that they seek from life. Do you understand? So schedules may just seem like, do I even need to be this detailed? Or you find out that you are building a system that would outlive you if you are putting in all the time and all the effort to consciously do this thing. My goal, my purpose here is to teach you to be excellent in parenting. Now, when I say excellent in parenting, I'm not talking about perfection. It's a myth. No one is perfect. Only God is. I'm saying excellence in the way you do things, in the way you structure your family, in the way you plan your life, in the way you set goals, in the way you get things done. Excellence is what will set you apart. Now, a lot of people say, my parents flogged me, my parents did not have a schedule, and I turned out okay. It's fine. It's very okay. There are a few good people. There are a few people who do not just want to stop at the level their parents ended. They want to go a step higher. And then those people have already gone into the future and they're doing things that you are not yet doing. So it's okay to not want to do things differently. It's okay to want to be like your parents. But remember that when they were raising you, it was 30 years ago, and a lot or less or even more. And a lot of the challenges we face today, they were not open to those challenges, and a lot of the successes we tend to have today, they were not privileged or privy to having those things. So it's the onus is on you is to do differently so that you can get something different. Set the pace for the next maybe 10 years if that's your goal. If the next 1 year is your goal, then it's fine too. So let's go back to schedules. Now that you have gotten the difference between a schedule and a routine, let's get down to structure. Why are we talking about structure? Did you know that your schedule cannot work if you do not have a structure? What is a structure? A structure is simply the way your home is formed. Who does what? You can have the structure that okay, the dad, your dad, the husband or the dad pays the bills while the mom takes care of the family, or it's a 50-50 thing in financial roles or responsibilities, and then that is your structure. That is a financial structure, right? And then apart from financial structure, who does what roles or chores in the house? The mommy takes care. Those days we used to read in the books, daddy in the parlor watching TV, mommy in the kitchen cooking rice, right? Is it still like that these days? I doubt. Is it still like that? Because mommies are also in boardrooms these days doing wonders. From time to time, I would have to go through my notes so that I'll make sure that I'm giving you the details as I've put them down because I have lesson notes. As time goes on, I may have to get a board and teach you like it's a regular classroom because teaching for me, it's meant to be interactive. You're meant to put in all your energy, and the student must definitely be learning. And because we have different learners across boards, we will try to make our approach eclectic. Some people will be okay with Miss Laurie sitting and teaching, while some others will prefer the gesticulations, the facial expressions, the hand gestures, and all of that. So, if your family is not structured in such a way that everybody knows what they ought to do, you find out that even if you have a schedule, it will not work. For instance, according to your schedule, chores have to be done between 5 and 7:30, correct? Are you still following? Please, if I'm losing you at any point, let me know in the comments so that I can know where to find you, okay? So, according to your schedule, chores are meant to be done between 5 and 7:30, correct? Spiritual, emotional, whatever structure is in place. And then amongst your children, for instance, do you run a system wherein issues do not get escalated to you until it's beyond the capability of the oldest to handle? In my home, we call it a sibling mentorship or accountability system, wherein there's a hierarchy of needs, right? The baby will go to the one older if she needs anything that the one older can handle. The one older will go to the eldest if she needs anything that that one can handle. You only come to me when you have gone through the hierarchy of needs, and then you can't all handle it. That way, I'm raising children who are useful, and I'm freeing up time for me, and I'm not building the home around myself. That is the structure I am putting in place. Do you understand? So if your structure is not formidable, your schedule cannot stand. What are the five ABCs of family schedule? Number one, access your needs. Now, your structure may be different from my own. A, access. Access your needs. Access your needs because your structure may be different from mine because you do not have the number of children that I have. You do not have the needs or commitments or experiences that I have. You do not have the dreams that I have. So don't say because Miss Laurie is teaching between 1 and 2 p.m., you are also going to teach. What if you are supposed to be in a board meeting and you're supposed to go to the market? So access your needs. What does your family need in 2023 from where you are standing right now? Look at it. What does your family need right now? What structure can I put in place that will foster a functional schedule for me to build my home around? What do we need as a family? Now, don't base your schedule on anybody. Focus on your path. When we were growing up, my mom used to say, face your front, do like this, so that you not be looking to your left or to the right. That means focus, assess your needs, and then stick to them. You find out that some people are doing things a certain way because of their experiences. Now, a few days ago, I was teaching my children, and I gave her an instance, and they said, "No, but mommy, so and so person does so and so." I don't want to go into the details. And then I told her, we never compare our family with anyone else's own because we are unique. We're made differently, and we're put on this earth to do things differently. So that this person is doing it, it means that it's okay for them. And then we are not doing it because it means that we'll be held accountable for whatever we choose to do according to the purpose for which we're put on this earth or to which we were called. So you need to access your needs, know what you need as a family, not want, know what you need as a family per time. If for this year you need your family to be more emotionally intelligent. You need your family to be more patient. You need your family to be more kind. Whatever living value you need to inculcate in your children or to grow in your family this year, access your that need and build a schedule around it. Okay? Thank you, Layo. Thank you so much for following. Number two, be consistent. A lot of times we are quick to write things down that we cannot follow through with. We're in a hurry to just get through the 365 days. Let it be like we're busy. It's not a time to be busy, it's a time to be productive. There's a difference between being busy and being productive. You can be busy and then you're not producing results. You can be on social media for 10 hours and then what do you have to show for it? So you have to be consistent to when you have set whatever schedule it is you have set. Consistency does not mean that there will not be days you fall off track because no 2 days are the same, you know. Not 2 days are the same. So because of that reason, you have to stay consistent. Consistency to you may be if you fall off the track like in a day, go back, make sure you go back like the next day. Make sure that you can draw out a system that works for you. Remember, it's your journey. You're the one wearing the shoes, and then you know where they pinch, you know. So make sure you're consistent. Make sure that you do not fall outside the schedule for more than 2 days in a row. Now, it is very much expected that when you change, maybe when you're traveling, your schedule will have to change. So be alert to know when those changes will happen, and then don't be too hard on yourself and start beating yourself up. Should changes lead to result or due to a change or shift in the paradigm of things? Okay. Number three is communicate. Now it's not just enough to have in your head what schedule you are running the home with. Your children and indeed every member of your team of the family must be able to know understand to what schedule you're running. You can maybe put it in a prominent place in their home, or you can maybe have monthly. family meetings, but I prefer that you let them know, especially the little ones, walk them through it so that it will become second nature for them, so that train up a child on the way he should go. When he is old, he will not depart from it. That schedule may well help him when he's in school away from you. The goal is for them to be independent and able to make their own decisions when they are away from you. Okay, so number four is divide responsibilities. That goal takes us back to structure. If Mr. A doesn't know he's meant to sweep the floor, he will not know that it's his job to do it when the alarm clock or reminder goes off that it is time to sweep. They say goats wey two people get na hunger dey kill am, because there's no structure in place for who to feed it when. But if two of us own this goat and I say, come, blessing, now you go feed am for morning, no? Omo lion, now you go feed am for night. Can you get where I'm coming from? That way, if the goat does not get fed on Monday night, I know who to hold. If it doesn't get fed on Monday morning, I know who to hold. So leaving it as anywhere belle face, anyhow we like, one could do it like that, will not cut it, especially in this 2023. Like I said before, there are people who have gone ahead of you in the game of excellent parenting and they're doing it well. It means that it's either you level up or your children will struggle if they happen to be in the same room with those other children in the future. Now, it's no longer just enough for you to have a first class or a PhD. If my daughter, for instance, has a first class and your son has a first class, how would they pick them for job roles? They will not have to check, does this child have emotional intelligence? Is he patient? Is he tolerant? What life skills does he have that will make him a better fit for the job? So if I am intentionally teaching my children these skills and you are not, and you are assuming that heaven manna will fall from heaven and God will come and teach them in your sleep, you see that you're already setting up that child to fail. So don't just focus on the academics alone. Okay, that's the academic structure, right? That's why you put them in school. That's a facet of their life. Do you understand? The spiritual structure is okay, you take them to church to learn the word of God. What about the emotional structure? Who will teach them to be kind? Who will teach them to be compassionate? Who will teach them empathy? Definitely not me, because I do not understand how your kingdom runs, and it's only the king that can truly teach the way of the kingdom, right? Have you seen in movies that most children, when they are born into royalty, they have different people who come to teach them in the manor or palace or kingdom or whatever they call their castle, whatever they used to call their royal homes. It is because they want their children to be raised in a royal way. That you are not born into a royal family should not make you forget that you are the child of the King of Kings, which means you are royalty. So the onus is on you to teach the children how to behave as the kings that they are. Number five is E, establish routines. I said I was going to give you five, A, B, C, D, and E of creating schedules, but then we said accession needs. Number two is what? Who can remember what number two is? B. Let me see who, if anybody has been following. Remember, I said it's going to be interactive. I did not come here to give you a lecture. I came to teach and to access that you're learning. I need to see your comments every now and then. So, Blessing, I can see Blessing has been on the live stream. Can you tell me what B is? If blessing is not forthcoming, then we could progress because consistent consistency is key. Yes, it's okay to fall along the line, but Jesus Christ, after he fell, he staggered up. And now, should you fall and you're not able to stand up, remember there's a Joseph somewhere who can help you carry the cross. The goal is don't just stay on the floor, keep going no matter how small. Baby steps are okay too, they are better than not moving at all. Then I will said communicate. Beautiful. Thank you, Blessing. Kiss your brain. Kiss your brain. Kiss your brain. Good job. Don't worry. I'll give you a lollipop after the class, okay? So you need to communicate to let everybody be on the same page with regards to what your schedules are. And then we said to establish routines. I think I have two more on my notes: flexibility, and then use tools that keep the rules visible. And then, okay, one more again, review and adjust. Flexibility, I've said it already. Don't be rigid. You're not a stone. You're not a tree. You can move. If your work requires for you to maybe miss one or two steps in your schedule in the day, it's okay. But just make sure that you have a template, like a rule. I will not miss my schedule, any item on my schedule, for more than two or three times in a row. That way you're able to double back and continue. And then we talked about using tools. If you need to set a reminder for you, like for me, I use reminders a lot, like a lot, because I don't want to depend on my memory alone. because I juggle a lot at the same time, I may forget. So once my reminder goes off, and I've started teaching the children to do so too. Once my reminder goes off, I try as much as possible to stop whatever I'm doing and attend to the need because it is pressing, and that's the time for it. And then review and adjust. Like I said, flexibility will entail that schedule is not sealed on stone. There are times you need to review the schedule according to where your family is at that point in time. So if it is time for you to adjust, review it and adjust. Okay, it's okay, because your schedule must be in conformity with your family goals, in conformity with what you want for your family to, where you want for your family to be at that particular time. So when your schedule is due for a review, remember it's not sealed on stone. It may be quarterly, it may be annually, but just make sure that it is not too different from what the children currently have, because routines and schedules help children to predict what's going to happen next, and it helps them. When you know that you're going to a wedding on Saturday, you're already planning towards the Saturday, right? It's like that for the children too. Don't think it's just you that is busy or that you have activities. Playing for them is their work. So they may schedule that, okay, between 6 and 7, I will play, and then you just come upon them and say, come, let's go somewhere. No. Train up your child on the way he should go. And when he's old, he will not depart from it. Now, what are the 5 factors that can stop you here and now? And then it can also help you. They can either stop you or help you make sure that you are sticking to your schedule. Number one, we all know this criteria, SMART. For those of us that do a 9 to 5 or that work in the office, really, we know about the SMART, the measurable, the achievable, the relevant, and the time bound criteria for testing your goals, right? You can also use it to test your schedule. Is it smart? Are you sure this thing is this? Sorry, is this specific? Yes. Is this smart? When we talk about smartness, now we're not considering specificity. Is this specific? What are the specifics of your schedule? What is supposed to be done around 6 a.m.? Is that when you wake up? After 6 o'clock, what do you do? After that, what is next? Be specific. Don't just say go and do chores. There are a lot of chores. Specify the particular one you need to get done at what time, and put a time frame to it. That's the time, the letter T at the end of SMART, right? We'll get there. Is it measurable? Is it measurable? How would you know that this schedule can be done or has to be done? Like, in what words would you quantify it being done? Okay, I need rice and stew and chicken to be made or ready, to be made ready by 5 p.m. You are measuring the time. You're tying it to a timeline. Okay, so this child now knows that instead of rushing to go and start cooking, because there's no cap on the time on the time you want the food to be ready, they'll go and start early. So if I need my meal to be ready by 5, it means that I would have to maybe start by 2:30 or 3 p.m. to start cooking. You see, there are some families that do not really need. There are some children that grew up in families that are so organized that they just went through life. It was easy for them. It was easy for them. Thank you, Joy. You really need to. It helps. It was easy for them because they already saw their parents doing it. They didn't have to struggle anymore. It just came second nature to them. So your children will be competing with such people in the future, because organization is a big deal. How can you work in an organization? Remember the term. Are you even listening to the term at all? How can you work in an organization if you are not organized yourself? Okay, are these schedules achievable? You're telling a 4-year-old to break melon, or okay, sorry, like a 4-year-old to pound yam between 3 and 4. Please, is that schedule going to be achievable? Ask yourself, where are you on your journey? That Miss Laurie is doing this and that does not mean that you should or you can. Because I may have built the structure, I may have set things in place that would enable that schedule work for me. Do you understand? So don't expect or demand of them what you have not taught them, what you have not equipped them to do, or what you know by yourself is not an achievable milestone, or should I say activity for that age group. So if you know you have taught that child to cut okra, you have taught the child to cut okra, then you can now say you can cut okra between 3 and 4. Now, it will be also witchcraft, like really hardcore Mami Water witchcraft, eh? Mami Water plus witchcraft. That's witchcraft pro max. For you to demand for a child to do something you cannot do within a time frame. For instance, finish math sums between 4 and 4:30. Auntie, please, can you do it? No, no, no. Just tell me, can you do it? If you have not tested the system by yourself, if you have not poked it enough to see if it will hold, then don't push it on the children, okay? Please, because it will be wickedness. So when I want to send you on an errand, I will tell you that, see, this is something I've done. I've tried this system before and I know that it works. So when you come to me with a problem, I will then ask you, what do you think can be done? Because I don't expect or demand that you do it my own way. No, it is also very, 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 very hardcore wickedness to demand that they do it your exact same way. Because our experiences have built in us a threshold to think differently. We have been wired to approach problems, to troubleshoot very differently. You may be seeing it from a 5-year-old perspective, and I may be seeing it from whether I'm 40 or 50. So demanding the exact same accuracy I would have done it will be shooting that child in the leg because you are not giving them any wiggle room to fail. Do you understand? So don't expect them to do any task the exact same way you do it. Allow them to think about it. Then you can now, okay, now that you have thought of this solution, do you think you can work for this particular situation? That's how you teach them executive functioning skills like critical thinking, problem solving, decision making. You're not thinking for them, you're not demanding for them to do more than they have been wired to do. But then at the same time, you are building that muscle for them to think. Do you understand? It therefore means that you have to have the structure in place for this schedule to work. So it's not just enough to set goals for the year. Your structure, they okay. Can your structure handle it? You need to ask yourself if that's the only thing you take home today. Ask yourself, can my structure handle it? D is R. Is it relevant? Sometimes we just clog our days with things that are not relevant. Is it relevant? This thing I'm doing now, how does it potentially improve my ability to achieve my goal for this family? If it is not relevant, leave it out of your schedule. There are times you are on your journey that would demand that you double back on some activities. There are times you may not need to attend, you do not have to attend weddings because you may have a child who cannot stay put throughout a wedding session. There are times you may not even have to sit inside the church because your child will throw tantrums. Now, it is not the child's fault that is throwing tantrums. Imagine you, an older adult, taken to a place where they are saying things that you cannot comprehend, and they tell you to sit still. You have taken to a place where they are speaking a language that you cannot understand, and they tell you to sit still. 30 minutes have passed, 1 hour has gone by, and then 2 hours later, they still tell you to sit in one place. Please, now, what did I ever do to you? What sort of wickedness is that one? A child's attention span, from my experience, and then I think you should ask your children's teachers too. If you remember, when we're growing up, the only times we used to have double periods is English and math, and it's usually in the mornings because the brain is keenest at dawn. You're able to grasp more when your brain is just waking up and you're just tuning in. How will it look now that your school has now gone to put math around 2 o'clock when your brain is already tired? Of course, you will zone out now mentally. So imagine that for a child now. This child is not even understanding the grammar, the grammar the pastor is dropping. You have to say sit down. When he's not sitting down, you start to spank. Please, is your structure okay for the child to obey that schedule of sitting still in that service at that time? You may need to take the child to Sunday school and sit there with them. So understand where you are on your journey and try to make your schedules, build your schedules around where you are at that point in time. Your schedule must be time bound. At so and so point in time, okay, let's say our schedule for this year. If you want it to be a year long, our schedule for this year may determine may demand that we teach so and so skills between the time, or for me, I teach on Mondays, I teach on Tuesdays, we learn together on Wednesdays, and then I teach on Saturdays because of the goals I have set for the year. The same may not be true for you because we have set different goals, right? So if your schedule is not time bound, you will not know when it's time to review and then to adjust. So, is your schedule going to be specific? Is it measurable? Is it achievable? Is it relevant? Is it time bound? If that schedule is not smart, you will not be able to achieve it. So to be able to achieve your schedule, make sure it is smart. In other words, make it get sense. Because if you not get sense, it not make sense if it not happen. Am I making sense to anybody at all? I'm not seeing your comments, so hope you know there are lollipops to be passed around. I know where to find you. If you're not commenting, I'll just keep my lollipop, sha. So I can see you people. Oh, I know each and every one of you streaming here. I know where to find you. If I cannot find you, you will find me. Don't worry. After going through this video again and writing down and allowing the Spirit of God to use you, you come and find me. Then I'll know if you commented on this live session or not. And then how to stay committed to your family schedule. Number one, build structure. I can never say that enough. It is very, very important that you have structure in place that your schedule can lean on. Okay, your structure may be the reason why maids are not even staying with you to take care of your children with you. Do you know that? It shock you. Let me not shock you for that. This person called God, do you know he's big on structure? Angels know what they are supposed to do. Jesus Christ knew what he came to do. Jesus Christ read I think you should go and check the scriptures for yourself. I don't want to be misleading you on anything. I'm a Christian, really. So from time to time I may chip in scriptures or my experiences from the church or something so as to make a buttress a point. Now Jesus Christ went to the church and one day he read the book of Isaiah where something was written about him. It activated the spark or something in him. There was a plan. So long before he was born, no wonder Jeremiah said, before I was born in my mother's womb, you knew me. Meaning he's a master planner. Now go back and read the story of the creation. Go back and read the story of the creation. It shows God is a God of order. It shows God is a God of organization. It shows that God plans. He puts system in place to make sure that everything goes according to plan. And then he's a God of purpose. Why did he choose? Have you ever thought of it? Why did he choose to create man last? Why did he put light? Why did he put light first? Why did really, really just sit down and critically think about maybe after this class, go back and read the story of creation. Why did he not create man first so that there'll be water everywhere? How will man survive? Why did he not leave the world dark? Okay, how will man see when he's on earth? Okay, why did he now decide to create a woman? Okay, now why did he make sure that Adam was sleeping before he drew that rib? Me, I think because Adam for the fine slay queen, oh, maybe he go say this will not be my spec. If he there weak, he go argue. Do you understand? I wasn't there. I don't know, but I'm just saying. Do you understand? So God is a God of purpose, is a God of order, is a God of organization. He knows the place and purpose for everyone. Meaning he did not just also put you on this earth to just have children for the fun of it. He put you here to raise purposeful children for him. And so when you are saying my parents flogged me and I was okay, sorry. Sorry, it's okay. It's okay, but sorry, we've left that WhatsApp group. We're now thinking about how to connect with these children and raise them according to the blueprints with which they were wired and sent to the earth. So somebody was talking to me this afternoon. She said, "I'm raising a strong-willed child." I said, "See, before you label a child a strong-willed child, ask yourself: Have you taught the skills for which the child can thrive? Do you understand why the child behaves the way he does? Do you understand what weaknesses came from you, from her father, from your parents and the father's parents? These six people form our temperament. Do you understand? So if you are labeling that child as strong willed, I need to know that, okay, I need you to come to me and say, Miss Laurie, I have taught the child self-control. I have learned to discipline from a place of love. I've connected with them emotionally, and then they still are lacking in so and so skills. And then I went on to ask, could it possibly be that you do not also know the skills to teach the child? That's why the child is acting like he's stubborn. Push a go to the wall for too long. They go to bounce back and ask, guy, Alpha, why they push me? Why they push me? So why do you expect a child, a human being who has a reasoning faculty, to just do everything you say, do as I say, not as I do? So the problem may just be you, that you're not well equipped enough, you are not skilled enough to raise that child, or you don't know the skills to teach them yet. So before you label a child, make sure that you are not the problem. Be consistent. Number two, to stay committed to your family schedule, you have to be consistent. We've talked about that already. Oh, mentioned the ABCs of creating your schedule, right? ABCs of your schedule. Be consistent. Let it not be that every day, you don't do what is on your schedule. You're supposed to wake up by 6 on Monday, you wake up by 7. It will definitely, it's like a domino effect. It has a domino effect, a ripple effect. It's definitely scatter everything. Because you are meant to read before 6 a.m., it means that you cannot read that day. You will not postpone it to the next day. The more you keep procrastinating, the more you leave yourself with little or no room to achieve your goal for the year. Remember, 1 year may sound very big. 365 days may be a lot, but trust me, as one day goes, before you know, 12 days are gone already. Number three, be flexible, flexibility. Now, repetition fosters remembrance. We have gone from a place of unknown, and at least when we know what schedules are and what we need to do to create schedules and what we need to even do to abide by them. So you need to be flexible. Like I said earlier on, nothing is sealed on stone. You can definitely tweak it. Try something now, and then if it's not working, the next is sit down. What did I do yesterday that did not work? Is it because of the schedule? Is it because of my structure? Do I have the structure in place? Some of us, if our homes are so built around us that if we're not around, the children will not even sneeze. Yes, it's okay, but come to think of it, if you die today, will your children thrive? Please don't tell me God forbid, because that's not a plan. Because death will not write a letter to you and say, hey, Chiamaka, tomorrow you die. Oh yes, let's say death even comes to you and say, next week you're dying. Is it then you now start running out as scatter? How about planning? How about planning? God sits down and he maps out strategies. He plans. God must be so organized that he knows the number of stars in the sky, that the very hair on your head is numbered. Have you ever tried to look at your palm before? Look at your palm. Look at it very, very delicately. Look at every line on your hand. Then look at your child's own. In fact, look at the two hands, your two hands. They're not the same. The gradients are different. I recently learned that apart from thumbprint or your retinal views, or that you can also use body movement, your gait, to as security measure. That blew my mind because not two people work the same way. Let's say you're able to pluck my eye, right? Like they do in movies, this is you pluck somebody's eyes and use to access their files or whatever, or you cut the person's thumb. Can you also pluck their body movements, the way they walk? Okay, let's not say you can do all that. What about their heartbeat? Which means all these things are peculiar to you alone. The way your heart beats is peculiar to only you. You see, God is such a master planner. He took out all the time to design you so intricately. So why are you going haphazardly in raising your children? Why don't you sit down and really copy from the God who put you here and try? This year, it may just be that he's planning an organization that is the structure you are learning for the year. It's okay. It's okay. We're not competing. You're not in competition with anybody. Forget about those women, whoever you think is putting you under pressure on social media. Yes, by all means, if she's teaching you to do it right, follow her. But if she's constantly putting you under pressure and you're feeling small or something, okay, maybe look at your self esteem. But if your self esteem is okay, maybe you should change your focus. Shut down the noise and really focus on your journey, because your journey as a parent is unique to only you. It is just you that stand before God tomorrow and give account to Him for how much you have done or not. And then focus. That's what I said before. Do like this. Focus on your focus. You know that song. Dun, 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 dun. Focus. Face your front. Mind your business. The grass only seems greener on the other side because maybe the person watered it better. Maybe the person has agricultural skills. Maybe the person has a skill set with which to make the garden better. So focus on your focus. Mind your own business. Should you need to learn from the next person? Yes, go and learn. If you need to pay to learn from them to do it better, go and learn. Because remember the story of the five talents. Your children may be the five talents. The talents may not necessarily be the skills or gifts you were born with, may not be the money you have. Your children may be that talent, you know, to whom God gave one, to whom the master gave one, he went and buried it. This one, now so you go meet a very greedy person. To whom they gave four, he doubled. So the other one, so it's a law. Because you do a lot with the much you are giving, you'll be giving more. That's why some people will be always be richer than some, because the little they have been given, they use it well. So you who is not even using, who doesn't even already have, that will not have, because the poor will always have among us. Was in the Bible and it's even Jesus that said it. So If he already knows that, okay, I've blessed you with skills that you are not using, that you will never use, let me Kokuma just collect that skill and give to this person now that will use it to raise their children. So sometimes it's not just about kneeling down to pray. The one that you already have is plenty. Start from there. Start using it. I remember before I was trying to decide whether to do this video today, and then it's Thursday. I do my one of my goals for the Lorry brand this year is to teach every Thursday on YouTube. And I told myself, I don't have ring light. Oh, I have to look down to my notes. I cannot cram the full text. Oh, how many people will even show up? Nobody even knows me. Oh, I don't even like wearing makeup. I will not come. My face is not looking like glass, and then it's not like Korean skin. And then I had to sit down and ask myself, so when I go to heaven tomorrow now, the people that are doing, they're serving purpose, are fulfilling destiny here, and then they're giving account of their lives to God, especially for this year, what will I see? Do you know that God can actually make me go blind now, and I'll still have to shoot these videos blind because there are some people He has destined to hear me, to listen to me, to do better. Do you know that I can actually be, I can actually have burns on my face, and I will be forced to, I will be obliged to do this video. So what really are my excuses? Why am I giving these excuses? Why am I allowing myself be the limitation when I can actually forgo all these things and just focus? Because at the end of the day, it is not the color of my skin that brings you to listen to me. It is the content of my character and the depth of my knowledge on this subject matter. So why don't I focus on building that? Is the lighting not okay now? I had to get a sound engineer to work on the sounds because I had to use a lapel mic. I had to sync I had to make sure that the environmental noise is not getting the video. I think my greatest curse or blessing is being always trying to be perfect. I want everything to be, oh my God, I'm like, have you seen CNN videos? I want my YouTube videos to be like that. You see, I am the one always trying to be in my own way because I'm seeking for unachievable goals. You see, now that I'm here, have I not taught somebody, even if it's one person that runs with what I've taught in this class today, everyone will be praised because there's a God in heaven who leaves the 99 for just one. So it applies to you too. What are you currently doing that is this you that is even limiting you? It is you that is stopping you. What excuses are you making? Start from where you are with what you have. Because according to my one of my mentors, a very wise man, what you have is plenty. Finally, be teachable. Learn worthwhile skills. Teachability is a very big deal. You cannot learn new skills if you are not teachable. Okay, it's not enough for somebody to teach you. Are you teachable? Are you willing to learn? I can come and say, Blessing, don't do this thing like this. And you say, no, Laurie, I must be it like this. Did I teach? Yes, I did. But did you learn? Of course, you didn't. So it is very important on your journey as a parent to be teachable. There will be times where you need to look inwards and ask yourself, why am I even shouting at these children? Is it that it is my method of delivery that is wrong? Because no child will just deliberately wake up and say, today, I will not listen to my mother, I will be deaf and dumb. It's not possible now when they are not witches. Even if they are witches, how about now? Did you provoke them? Did you do them any bad? So if you didn't, it may therefore mean that you need to calm down. Is it that you are yelling too much? Or are you passing the message across wrongly? Or are you not communicating in the language that we understand? You should be mature enough on your journey to go back into your shells and in retrospect think about what you're doing. Because the problem may well be you. Remember that this child may be 7, 8, 9, 10, or 11, and you are like at least double that age, double or triple, which means you are supposed to know better. So if you are demanding patience from a child, you must model patience to that child because you will now be the manual showing them how to navigate stormy weathers. Okay, because they will now see you, they will now be you be the example that is guiding them. Today, we've been able to establish what routines are, what schedules are, the importance of schedules, why we need structure. We talked about the SMART criteria as important as it is important that relates to our parenting journey and our schedules. We talked about being smart, being yes smart. Talked about your goals being your schedule being specific, being measurable, being achievable, being relevant, and being time bound. We talked about you allowing yourself room to fail. Yes, be going, be flexible, be consistent, and be focused. Above all, let's be teachable because there'll be so many things to learn. There'll be so many skills you need to learn because you cannot give what you do not have and you cannot pour from an empty cup. I want to say a very big thank you to all of you who have made our time to be on this live session today. It's a pleasure, it's an honor, it's a privilege I do not take for granted for being a part of your parenting journey, especially now that values are becoming something people laugh over, especially now that intentionality is getting found out. Thank you for daring to be different. Thank you for daring to take the step towards doing things better. I remember there's a wise saying that says insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. 2023 is a year to look inward rather, and dig deeper. Like, look at yourself. What am I doing? Am I self sabotaging as a parent? Am I doing things that are jeopardizing um my journey as a parent? How can I begin to change now so that it will affect the my children? Some people are no longer thinking for next week. Some have left the WhatsApp group of them preparing for a year. Some are now planning for the next 5 years. And I know of a great man who doesn't teach you for the next year. He talks about the decade. So if people are now working against 10 decades and then 5 generations, and you're still asking yourself, and you're still telling yourself, na fat, I not keep person. Picking when 1 year go year, the one we won't spoil will spoil. Sweetheart, level up. Somebody should type on the comment section, level up. Level up, okay? It's a time to level up. It's a year for you to really think about what you want for your family and spend every waking moment doggedly going after it. This is Laurie wishing you all the very best. Not better than you wish yourself, because I really do not believe in wishes alone. I believe in wishing and working like you don't wish at all. I wish you all the best and I pray that you get the leading you need to do better this year. Thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to share it with your friends, okay? But we will only grow if you share us with people, right? Don't make us your best kept secret. Please don't keep us secret. We will not grow like that. Please, this video may be free to you, but it costs a lot to put it together, to even stream live here for you. If for oneself, the internet we are streaming with is not free, and then the members of the team who have made sure that this has come to you now, it's a lot of work and time they're putting, right? So share us, loud doors, munch the nuggets, put prepare people on social media. Miss Laurie is teaching, she's putting fire. So please don't keep us okay, no hide us on that bed. You know, go even the Bible says you cannot hide light a lamp and put it under the bushel, right? Thank you so much again for being a part of this session. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I wish you a very, 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 very phenomenal 2023. God bless you. See you again next Thursday. Have a great one.